Right. I've forgotten what it is that we need to sell.
Well, while you find the list, Gomi just wants to sell her shields, so she's going to approach him and just say, do you buy equipment?
He sort of turns around, looks up at you, and sort of cautiously says, "I, assuming it's in good wear."
Well, Gomi will take the old shield, which I'm assuming is on her back now because she'd be carrying the Fey one.
Yeah.
We'll hand it to him and just say, how much for this then?
He'll sort of take it and take a look at it. 1 second while I double check something.
Also, in case it affects it at all, because I'm assuming since druids aren't allowed to use anything with metal, the shield is entirely made out of wood.
It would be, yes. And you can sort of see him almost looking disapprovingly at this as he sort of looks over it and sees that it is mainly made of wood, leather, and sort of not any metal. And
Yeah, I'd expect that anyway.
he sort of grumpily says, "Give you 3 gold for it."
Gomi will just say, it's fine by me.
He sort of nods and digs into a purse and sort of hands you 3 gold, and then sort of just slings it for now under his cart to sort of look at and properly sort of appraise and sort out later. Now, was there anything else for you lot? I've got some lovely wares.
We
Yes.
have.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, really? Oh, well, okay. I'm gonna go ahead then. We have something in our list here that says glass stiletto dagger. True. Those are 2 things, like a glass and a stiletto dagger. It's a glass stiletto dagger.
It is a glass stiletto dagger. It is a sort of almost ornate, not really meant to actually be used in combat, or if it is, it would be only a one-use item. It's sort of, you haven't tested it, but you would assume it's fragile. It's sort of something meant to be hidden about the body, sort of possibly in a corset or a bodice, and then basically pulled out. It's basically an assassin's weapon, almost. It's like a long, thin, icicle-like shard of glass.
Right. How much for this? He asks. Well, Silence asks.
He takes it and again sort of looks at it. He sort of looks up at you curiously. This isn't the sort of thing most people would own. Sort of, as I said, this is an assassin's weapon.
Mm.
He actually like flicks a fingernail against it and sort of listens to see if it's crystal. It isn't.
Ping.
And in the end, he sort of begrudgingly says, "Look, it's I'll give you 4 gold."
Sold.
Okay, you again sort of he takes it. This one you see him pull like a bit of soft velvet cloth and he wraps it up in that and sort of lays it in a very sort of, he has a case of sort of finer knives and sort of more ornate sort of weapons meant for nobles and such, and he sort of lays it in there and sort of closes and locks that lid again.
Methinks we got hustled. But alright. Yep.
Just quickly, I'm looking back through the stuff we got, and from, I don't think it was last session, it might have been the session before. Oh wait, no, that would be last session. Never mind. Also, like, this stuff that we've got to sell, aside from last session, because me and Sylph don't know about it, should we just split that up between us and go find the people that would be able to buy that?
I want to know if there's a sell all.
Yeah, because there's a lot of shit here that we don't
Okay,
need.
what we can do for that is, do you guys want to sell it all as a group, or do you actually want to split up and sort of try and sell it all separately?
It'd probably be easier if we just did it all as one big lump sum, to be honest.
Okay, who would like to do the bargaining?
Yeah. Well, we
Yeah,
all know
not
it's not
me.
going to be me.
And at about this point, Ella would rejoin the party.
Okay, well, before that, sorry. Hello, my good man. I was wondering if you'd have any silver weapons at all.
Silver?
Absolutely.
What good silver?
Well, we may or may not be coming up against some undead at some point in our journey, and I just want to be prepared.
He thinks for a moment, and then you see him head over again to sort of the case that he just put the glass stiletto in. And he basically pulls out a short sword, a very sort of ornate masterwork, almost you would say, short sword. Its handle is black leather, and indeed you see the blade has a silvery edge to it. And he sort of says, I originally made this as a nobleman's dress piece, but I take pride in all my work. It would serve you just as well in combat.
What are you selling it for?
And I could accept no less than 120 gold pieces.
Too rich for my tastes. We may be back, but as an aside, would you be interested in a little work at, or could you point me in the direction of the bowyer in the town? Or the Fletcher, rather.
He puts the sword back in, and he thinks, he says, well, I'm not sure if he's at the market today. There's normally an elf who deals with bows and arrows and that sort of thing. Ruscion is his name. R-I-O-N, for your notes.
Okay. Let's see.
He normally sets up shop over on the south side of the market.
Excellent. Thank you, my good man. And with that, I suppose we'll figure out what we're selling. Could you guys go ahead and post that list in either the Discord or the Roll20 so we can take another peek at it?
It's pinned.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and there's 3 messages that are pinned on there, which is everything we've ever received.
Gotcha.
But the one from Vince is the stuff they looted from your town, so we don't even know they have it.
Okay. Let's see.
The thing is, okay, so here's the question. Well, here's one question anyway. If Silence shoved all the things that we got from the village in with the other stuff that we all collectively have gathered, would Sylph even notice?
Well, we got that bag of holding shortly after.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think we would have kept it separate.
I think what he means is if you were just to lump it in and hope that he doesn't notice, that we just end up selling it all without him ever knowing.
That's
Yeah.
a bad move. There's like I feel like he'd notice.
Hey, isn't that a picture of me when I was a baby?
Yeah.
But A, we didn't go into his house and loot it.
Right.
Well, I don't have a B argument. It's an A.
A possible B argument is that he never said you couldn't loot it. He just wanted to leave.
Yeah, that's
And he does sort of know you did some looting because it did take you the better part of sort of an hour, half an hour to go through town and find the loot.
I wonder what they're doing.
Yeah, so, but the question is, would Sylph, Sylph isn't carrying the loot, so he probably hasn't even seen it since we got it from the first encounter. Would he notice a little silver necklace and a carved bone dice and stuff like that?
For Sylph's own aims, he'd want that silver necklace. But beyond that, I don't know that he would truly mind, regardless. Because, much like Rose said, it was pretty obvious you guys were gone for a while. It's not a big deal. I understand. I mean, at the same time, though, if I recognized, like Lime said, if I recognized, who they belonged to specifically, I don't think he'd be okay with that.
Okay.
Don't forget as well, you wanted the silver hand mirror.
Yep, already got it.
Cool. Because that's also on the list.
Someone's collecting silver, I get the feeling.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Thank God I don't have to worry about that.
So yes, could whoever is doing the selling please make a 1 second. Could you please make an investigation check?
I think I should do that. Just saying, unless anybody particularly wants to do that.
I agree with the gnome.
Yeah, I think that'd be smart.
Sure.
There you go.
1 second.
Is that a natty 20?
Oh, God,
Yeah,
damn.
it is. Yeah.
Natural 20. Very nice.
Smart.
Sorry, 1 second. I just need to write some notes here.
Oh, and I'm assuming we're keeping all of the potions.
Yeah.
Even the one of climbing. Well, I saying that, we've already used 2 regular potions, haven't we?
You have used 2 regular potions of healing. Yes.
Yes, so we still have the greater potions. You also looted some more from the town. And potion of climbing.
So we have 3 potions of healing and 1 of greater healing.
No, we have 2 of greater healing.
Oh, we do?
Okay. So, ready?
Yep.
As Ella starts asking around and sort of walking among the market stalls and sort of finding the various stores which might be interested, sort of, basically sort of a more street version of porn stores.
What it sounds like.
PAWN, not the other one.
Ah.
Oh.
Bummer.
But yeah, you sort of find some second-hand stores and sort of things, but you're not actually heading to those. You're heading back to the side street because you remember opposite that was indeed a more established, sort of quite respectable-looking, again, sort of a knick-knack store, a store for curios and similar things, which you get the idea would be more interested in the items you have for their unique sort of historical value, just for what they are.
Okay.
So you reckon you could sell them for more because this place actually cares about their sentiment and their history?
Context.
I'm guessing.
Exactly.
I'm guessing I'll have to give that context.
Well, Sylph wouldn't have joined knowing, what's going down, but before she would have left, Sylph would turn to Ella and say, let me know if you see any kind of silver weapons, or specifically a place that might have silver arrows.
Silver arrows.
But with that, Sylph sort of goes back to the market, and we'll let Ella take care of that.
Okay. 1 second.
Also, that 69 gold piece from the town, are we splitting that between us or just giving it to Vince and Ella?
I'm alright with spreading the wealth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright,
Hold on.
just so I can calculate and add it to the pool.
You see, Gomi, treasures are best when spent. That's a quote for you. By the way,
Thank you,
where
I think.
inscriptions on weapons and stuff, where would one go to acquire such a thing?
You believe for something like that, you would have to approach a actual blacksmith, as opposed to a sort of merchant.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Are you looking to get an inscription on your staff then? Water staff?
Oh my god.
Mind your own business, half-orc.
I wasn't asking
no,
this
I'm
guy.
not.
Damn.
No, I'm not. No, I mean it's a wooden bow staff. It would be silly. It would probably damage the integrity of the staff.
And it's magical.
As you are two are walking along, a figure sort of hands full of sort of general fruits and veg knocks into silence. Sort of fruit and veg goes flying everywhere, and he sort of starts cursing you quite angrily.
Watch where you're going.
You watch where you're going.
Really?
Is
That's
that
how you want to deal with this?
I'm not the one walking around acting all high and mighty. I've got kids to feed. You just made me... And he starts trying to pick them all up before they disappear or get trodden on.
Silence helps him. Kind
Okay.
heart. What's your name, stranger?
Thomas.
Thomas.
Okay. And so you help him pick up this stuff, and he sort of grumbles and starts walking away, sort of now at an even more hurried pace.
So it's not just me, it's Gomi too, right? I'm not alone here.
No, it's you and Gomi.
Yeah. Got any ideas, Gomi?
About what? Seemed like an accident to me.
Well, fine.
Neither of you saw anything.
Gomi just looks at Silence and goes, so, this new you, do you actually drink now?
A man does not just drink ale. He drinks in his surroundings as well. You should know this.
Well, a great place to do that would be in a tavern, surely.
Yes, but first let's find a blacksmith.
Alright.
So, Ella,
Yep.
you are now sort of in the curio store, and you are bargaining with the person in there. Could you make a persuasion check for me?
Oh. I can try.
Okay, 12. 1 second. Okay, you managed to sort of sell all the items and sort of manage to quite successfully, you feel, argue with the gentleman for their actual worth and sort of ability.
There were a few things that I wanted to keep. There were like 2 things.
Yep.
The scroll and the holy book.
Yep, you can keep both of those.
Okay, cool.
Give me a second while I just roll something.
How much?
For the lot, he will eventually offer you 75 gold pieces.
75. Alright.
Is that good?
Well,
You
Like, we have 3 gems worth 10 gold pieces each. Is 40 for the rest, or whatever, 45.
And
you
Great at maths.
yeah, the rest of it is quite a bit of junk, though, to be fair.
Alright.
Except for the gold bracelet.
Yeah, well, I just remember that it's not up to me.
Oh, yeah.
It's Ella all the way, so yeah. Sorry.
yeah, my persuasion is not great. So I guess she'll
Still, that's still 135 gold to split 4 ways. Isn't too bad for 2 sessions worth of loot.
I got 144 out of that.
Did you also add the original lists, gold and whatnot? Because
No.
I think we already split that up.
Yeah, I think we already split that up. But, I mean, the 75 plus the 69, that's 144, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, I probably pressed it. Yeah, it's 1.4.
Math. Woo.
Mathematical.
That's 36 gold each. It's not bad.
so you'll be in there sort of arguing over each item for a while. So we're gonna jump to someone else while we're shopping. Sylph, you were in the market.
Yes, I would go to the south side looking for Ruskion.
Yep, and sure enough, you do sort of see a elf there, sort of leaning behind a stall, sort of leaning back on a chair. His legs are up on the stall. He's not looking that fussed about selling his wares. He looks confident enough that he knows people will come to him rather than him having to try and hawk his stuff like other traders are doing.
I believe I've been told of you. Ruskion, is it?
That would be me.
Yes. I'm looking specifically for silver arrows, or someone that may be able to craft some silver arrows for me. Would you be able to help me with that?
He sort of sweeps his feet off and sort of stands up and sort of leans over the counter. I might be able to help you with those. How many were you looking for?
Let's see. Probably 20 or 30. At most. Of course, I wouldn't be just shooting these willy-nilly, but I am worried about the cost.
The silvering process is quite rare and difficult. It does add to the cost of weapons extensively.
Would the cost be cut down at all if I could provide you with the silver itself?
He sort of thinks and goes, well, not really. Unless you've got pure silver, silver fresh from the mine, silver ore. A lot of the stuff that is in jewelry nowadays has already been cut with other substances. It is not pure. And that means that when it comes to the smithing process, you do not get the right alloy.
Ah, of course. In that case, even such a small amount, say 5 or 10 arrows, is there any way you could just ballpark it for me? Well, that's not what Sylph would say because they don't have ballparks.
He thinks and sort of says, well, with the jewelry, because I'll be honest, I like some shinies. And you sort of see, like, he's got a ring on each finger, some double rings. He's wearing several sort of chains. You can't see what's on them, but because they all disappear underneath his shirt. But sort of, he does look like a sort of very well-to-do individual. He sort of thinks and says, I could do you 10 silver arrowheads? Just the arrowheads, mind. You'd have to work on the rest yourself. Just for the arrowheads, I would call it 50 gold pieces.
50 gold? That's a little steep. Is there any way you could bring it down lower for a fellow elf?
Make a persuasion check.
Yes.
No.
He sort of says, it's, as I said, the process is very expensive. Honestly, for 10 pieces of ammunition, if I was looking at crafting the full arrows for you, I should be, by all rights, charging 100 gold. The only reason I'm offering you some so cheap is because I've had this bag under my counter for years now. I'll be glad to be rid of them, but I've got to at least make the cost of materials.
I understand. I may be back then. Thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome, and I am sorry that we couldn't make an agreement, but I have to make a living.
Not at all. When I come up with the money, you'll be the first one to know.
I look forward to that day.
Sylph waves and goes off in search of everyone else.
Okay. Back to Silence and Gomi. Gomi? No, sorry, Silence? You were hunting down a blacksmith?
Mm-hmm.
You end up sort of more in the crafts side of town, so the craftsman side of town. There's less sort of shoppers here and much more sort of people walking with a purpose. Stable hands leading horses. You've got wagons being unloaded, and you eventually follow sort of your ears and your nose, and you find a smithy. It's quite a lot. Sort of, you can see at least 3 big chimneys along the back row of it, and sort of they're putting out not a black smoke, but still a steady stream of smoke. And sort of you hear the sound of hammers ringing from.
Right. Well, I'm guessing that someone is out there hammering away on an anvil.
Yep.
So Silence will approach one of these fellows.
Okay. You approach a young boy. He's maybe 16, 18 years of age. He's starting to just sort of get his first sort of whiskers on his chin.
No.
Just starting to grow in his first beard. He's sort of working on making what looks like a horseshoe. 3 more sit sort of further down, just having come out of like a water dip, and he's sort of left them there, as he is now working on the fourth. He sort of looks up at you and goes, "Yes, sir. Can I help you?"
Maybe I'm looking to inscribe this axe.
One moment, I'll fetch the master.
I'll hold.
And then he sort of realizes that he's mid-harrying a horseshoe and says, maybe give me 5 minutes. I need to do this before the medicals, you understand?
Sure.
Silence said, you could have said, I need to ask you a question.
Oh, you missed it.
And so you sort of,
Yes.
as you are waiting for this land to be finished, eventually a dwarf actually comes out of the smithy and sort of, seeing you standing by the boy, wanders over and sort of says, "Can I help you?"
Yes.
This has nothing fancy at all, but there it is.
Could you inscribe something on this axe for me?
He sort of takes it and takes a look and says, "It's fairly old. I'd need to do just some basic repairs on it first. But I can do it. Head or haft?
The head.
Basically, do you want the inscription on the handle or the actual metal head?"
The head.
Without sounding dirty. Yep.
I can do that. How soon do you want it done?
There's no rush.
Preferably today.
Preferably today, of course. Thanks. But it all depends on the price, of course. So how much would you charge me for this?
Depends on the detail of the inscription, I suppose.
Okay. Because Silence hasn't really, or rather, I haven't really thought of the actual inscription.
Would you like it to be like an ornate pattern or just like some simple script? Or
Yeah, just simple script.
Okay.
Just a few words.
Yeah. He sort of thinks about it and says, I could do that. And you said you wanted it done by today?
Yes.
Let's see. He looks down at the boy, sort of working, and sort of says, "You okay handling horseshoes for the rest of the day, lad?" Looks up and nods, and you sort of realize this must be the master, and the boy's his apprentice. He says, "Well, I could do it today. Call it 5 gold pieces."
Done.
Excellent. Half now, half when you pick up the axe.
Sure.
And as you go to reach for your money pouch, it isn't there.
Bastards. That's not good.
What?
Gomi, did you take my money?
Why would I take your money?
I don't know. Did you?
No.
Alright. You
So
look honest enough.
You've been robbed, you mean? Gomi will just take out 5 gold, 2.5 gold technically now, but just give it to the guy.
He sort of looks back and forth and sort of looks at Silence, sort of as if to say, "Okay," and then he sort of says, "Right, that should be done by sundown. If you come back just before closing, I'll be able to give it back to you. I'll make sure it's clean and sort of good as new as well."
Sounds good.
"Okay. Have a good day, all." And he turns to go and says, "Maybe keep your pouch a little hidden." And sort of turns and walks back into the smithy, shaking his head.
He thinks he's a comedian.
I must admit, it is quite funny.
Is it? Is it really?
Well, it is from my perspective. Got me just fucking grinning.
I'm sorry, I must have missed it. Did Silence say what he wanted inscribed?
No, but he did pass. Well, he does now anyway. He passes a note. Gomi can't see the note. He doesn't know.
The dwarf would have taken the note and sort of read it before giving the quote, basically, because he needed to know how many words it was.
Yeah. Be determined at a later date, I think.
Yes. But yes, your money pouch is completely gone.
Fantastic. Alright. Oh.
Because a pickpocket rolled a natural 20.
Little Thomas. Yep.
Should we go find the others?
We should.
Oh, as we bump into one or the other, then go straight away and go, hey, guess what? Guess what?
What?
You know what, Gomi? Walking is an exercise in keeping one's mouth shut.
What?
What?
What does that
You guys
mean?
go
Ellen
into
says
the-
walking forward.
Hiding. I am so sorry, but hiding, as you all know, can be a lifetime error.
Oh my god.
Well, it doesn't poke Ella, but anyway, Ella, how'd you do on selling everything? Can we get our cut now?
36 per person.
36 gold, okay.
So you're going to give me the 5 you owe me then, Silence?
Why do you
Go,
have
we just-
5?
Gobi just laughs and goes, nah, it's alright, keep it.
No.
No, trust me, I don't need gold.
Neither do I.
Well, you could always do with buying a new weapon in the future.
Like I just
A new
told you,
pouch.
treasures are best when spent. So,
Well, how
here you
about
go. Take the money.
how about you keep your gold then? We'll go buy you a new coin pouch.
All right, Mommy. Sure.
Yeah.
So, Silence, how did someone rob you? I'm confused. Why didn't you take them out?
Well, I was with a lady, so I didn't want to start a fight.
Gomi may be a
You mean
lady,
me?
but she can hold her own.
It's nothing like a good fight.
Well, I don't think you understand. The last dawn of winter is the spot that weaves the web of fate. I think that should answer it.
How? You know, I'm really starting to think you're just like pulling quotes out of the air and throwing them out there and thinking they're profound. I don't understand what you're trying to tell us.
Self just...
You know what,
Silence winks at Ella and says,
He who dances never sleeps alone.
God damn it.
Oh. So...
Are we going to get something to drink, or
Wait,
what's going on?
Wait, I have a favor. I need a favor.
What, do you need a stool or something?
Fuck you. I need a gold piece. I need 1 gold piece.
1 gold piece?
Gobi just gives you one.
Sweet. I'm gonna go find a jeweler.
What?
She's gone.
Okay. With that, so Silence, did you see the guy that got your pouch, or you want to go retrieve that, maybe?
Funnily enough, I even know his first name.
Oh,
If that
Which
was his
is-
first name.
A bit odd. But no, he probably needed it more than I did.
oh, you seem rather charitous today. That's a word, right?
Well-
Is that a word? I don't think it's a word.
I don't know.
I'm not.
I don't think it's a word either.
Charitable would
Yeah.
probably be.
Yes.
Charitas. It's a word.
I
It's
tried.
fucking America.
Hey. Oh.
Go me.
In this game, we speak common. Thank you very much.
Charitas is not a word.
Gomi would make a point to say to you both, like, look, in particular to Silence, will say, look, in the future you might need to buy weapons, maybe armor, but my magic are my weapons and my armor. I don't need the gold for that. So if you need gold, just tell me.
Right. I will keep that in mind.
But also, if someone tries to steal my coin purse, they're going to have their skull caved in.
Yep.
Just so that we're on the same page.
Sure.
Gomi, you say this having been watching the situation, and you realise that even you didn't see Thomas steal.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that, does he?
Yeah, exactly.
So, Sylph shrugs and, okay, guys. Well, I suppose I'll meet you at the, what is it? The Rum Runner or River's Rum?
Yeah, the River's Rum.
So I'll meet you guys at River's Rum in a little bit. I'm gonna go grab some silver arrows because whatever this druid has in mind for us, it may be a little more undead than not. So I think it's best we be prepared with some kind of silver.
That's a good idea. In that case, Silence, shall we head to the docks and perhaps see if we can arrange passage back tomorrow?
Actually, there's one thing on his mind before we do that. Silence has a spell called... I forgot what it's called. But it... Hold on.
Is it a monk spell or a... whatchamacallit
It's a
spell?
Hellish Rebuke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it demands, I think, ruby powder.
Actually, let me just double check. I believe because you have that as part of a supernatural power, you do not need the casting requirements.
Is that a tiefling thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it now. Hellish Rebuke.
Give me 1 second and I will double check that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to look up what he does.
Looking up spells. That would have been a good one.
That's actually... could have the potential to do a lot of bloody damage.
Yes. Rennie, just making sure you know that you can transcribe spells into your spellbook from scrolls.
Yeah, but I need money to do that, and I'm about to spend all of my money.
Yep, okay, just checking that, just from earlier when you tried to, or wanted to sell the Burning Hand scroll.
That was
Well-
more of a... I needed to ask him about necromancy.
Yep.
Well, if you ever bring up that you need money to Gomi, she'll probably give you it, to be fair. But then again, you weren't around to hear her say that, so...
Metagaming.
I will never ask for money, other than that one time I just did. And the time I did before that.
Uh-huh.
So what you're saying is I should expect you to ask soon.
Maybe. Depends on her mood.
There are things I could technically buy, but a lot of it is kind of irrelevant to me right now, so...
Yeah. I'm actually just going to have to call a break right here. I will be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.